Hey guys, MD95TSI here, and I want to do this video for DronePool. Hey Dan, this is the XKX350, but the transmitters are very similar. You have the X7, I have the X6. I'm gonna show you a very nice secret with that. I'm almost positive yours has it. Okay, so let's go ahead and bind this bad boy up, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Always make sure if you get the XKX350, just please make sure you see I got this switch hot glued here. This thing will dance. This thing will go inverted, and then you got to put your stick in the middle, and it flies like a heli. So it's very dangerous. So that's why I have that hot glued, so I don't accidentally hit that. This is my acro 6G stabilization acro. I believe your bird has the horizon up here, and then full-blown acro. I can't remember too much about that, but on your transmitter on this side you should have a throttle stop. I do believe that's what this shoulder button over here should be. So I'm going to show you something with that that's going to help you out. So make sure all your switches are up and back for now. Well, your throttle lock, you want to make sure it's on. Mine, I pull it forward, locked, and I'll show you why mine has to be locked. Okay, when I power on my transmitter and plug in my bird, okay, you see my throttle right now is down. So you're going, okay, mine does the same thing. Well, you see I have no throttle right now at all. My throttle could be all the way up. It does nothing. Okay, watch when this throttle lock is not locked. She spins those props, you see. So there, my throttle's all the way down and it spins the props. Okay, what that does for you is when you're flying and you let down on your stick, the quad isn't gonna just fall out the air and then you gotta get back on your stick. Okay, this is a safety net is basically what it is. You see it doesn't do nothing. It won't take off. Just that simple, you know. Okay, so how we do that is, I'll show you how to do this. On your trim buttons, okay, just push it up, watch. I'll push mine down, watch. I'm back at 0. Now do what you do. Okay, the throttle stop don't mean nothing, and then when I give it throttle, it's on, but then when I turn it off, it's off. But this guy is meant to do that too, because this one will dance. But anyway, that's what I tried to tell you guys. It will dance, alright? So, you see it's a tough bird. It'll take a licking. And keep on digging. But anyway, let's make sure we ain't bust nothing up. I think we're all good. And you notice if you get your transmitter near it, it'll go out. That's just so when you're so close you can't accidentally give this thing throttle. So, let's do the correct thing and lock our throttles back up. And let's push it up, okay? Actually, you can turn the throttle lock off, and push just until your props start to turn. 28, mine start to turn. Yours may turn just about the same. I'm not too sure on that. I don't have the 251. I will get it one of these days. I really like the way it banks, and I'm almost sure that has horizon. So throttle lock off, and it stops. See? And I may have to go ahead and do this. I throw mine in low rates is on 70%. I can show you how to change all that. If you want, Dan, call me one day. We'll go into it. Watch if I hold this. And I'm now into, I can reverse any stick that I want to. Rates, dual rates. Okay, we push and go into that. You can see 1 is 80, 2 is 80, 4 is 100. Alright. If you flick it down, we're in 110. Okay, so we're on 80%, 80%, and then 100% full-blown throttle. So roughly 80, 80, and then full-blown 100. Okay, so she is running on 100. I thought she was running on 70%. But okay, so that's how you check your rates. Okay, you leave it in low rates, and then flick it down to high, it'll tell you. Alright, hit back then you dial it down. You can put Expo, what the racers put. So when you push your stick real easy, and it's kind of like, you can actually adjust the sticks to where when you push the stick it'll move easy, but then when you throw the stick wide it'll go wide. That's Expo. Read up on that if you want to mess with that. Mine is on 0. I'm not on Expo. Throttle curve. You can adjust the throttle and how this thing responds to the throttle, and yours also. You just press into this. See, we're at 0, stick all the way down. When we first moved the stick, we're at like 25. Then we're at like 40. Then 55. And then 70. So see, that's the 70% I'm telling you guys about. When my stick's wide open, I'm at 70%. And that's on both rates. So, okay, so hit back out of that. You can adjust all that if you'd like to, Dan. And yours may be different than mine because this is the X350. Hit out of that, dial it down again. You go into pitch curve. Okay, hit this, same thing. The pitch curve is, right there. So 60, 60, 60, 75, and 100. So it's more or less like 60, 60, and then and then wide open. So that is the pitch curve. So then you go out of there, dial it one more time. You can get into the gyros on yours. So if you don't like the way it's right now, it's not like, it's kind of like this on you, and you don't like that, push this guy, go in. I got this on 80 gyro. You can dial this thing all the way up to 100% gyros, and then it's like stable as can be. So yeah, so there you go, Dan. That's a little short run through of the transmitter. The X6, you have the X7. Only thing different, you have the red button here. I still believe everything works. I think this is your Horizon versus your thing, and mine is, like I said, glued so it won't snap. Because if you throw this thing in there, when you saw me do that flip, I would have thrown this switch forward and then centered my throttle, and this thing would have hovered upside down. So this is a monster. So watch this guy. If you do get a hold of this guy, you can fly it with the X7, I do believe. You may want to do homework on that also. I will let you know if you can fly the 251 with the X6, because like I said, I eventually will get that one. So hit back, and then you're back into your sticks. Everything's back to normal. But it helps when you go to down the sticks. It does help when you down the sticks. And they don't cut off when you're flying. It does. It just helps you so much. This guy, when I first got it, when you down the stick all the way, because I'm always on the stick. So when I down the stick, it would dip. I have to throw the stick back up on it. This is a way of throwing more or less what they call, like the racers have air mode. This is kind of what you would consider air mode. Your stick's all the way down and you still have throttle. So now when I flip an acro, this thing will just flip, because if you put it in acro with the props doing this on the full, closed stick, it's gonna whoo and roll out of the air and not be able to perform the trick, if you get what I'm saying. That's a lot of the problem with acro people have. Air mode, you need to do acro, because when you throw it up and roll it, you're more or less doing it. If you close your props all the way off, turn them all the way down, and they turn off, you're more or less just doing like what the toy grade quads do, what we guys do, how you punch it, turn the power, and then flip the stick. Kind of at the same time you're turning the power off and pitching the quad, and it'll do a flip. So that's kind of like what a toy grade quad would be in acro. This is real acro. And if you try to acro this guy, like I said, you might down the stick too much and turn the props off in this ball game. This will stop you from doing that. Can't down the stick. You always have throttle. So, DronePool, I hope this helped you out, brother. Set this up on yours. If not, give me a call. I'll run you through it on the telephone. You're going to see that you're going to be a lot better flyer and like that guy a lot more with this setup on it. So, throttle lock on, throttle lock off. And then always make sure, when you do this, please beware, brother. Always make sure, I'm going to say again, always make sure when you're binding, you have your throttle lock on. There's a video of a guy that did not do that. He had his throttle lock off. When he's in this, how I got mine set up, he put the battery in, and that thing battered him, put a hematoma on his wrist about this big on YouTube. Check it out. So be careful. Please lock your props before you bind your quad. I don't want you to grab hold of that thing and cuss me when that thing tears your hands all up. And you're like, man, I should have left it alone. please, please, please do that, okay? I always make sure it's locked up, and it's hard for me to remember for all the quads I fly. So there you go, Dan. I hope this helped you out. DronePool, really appreciate you, brother. So just trying to help you out here, brother. So there you go. The XK X350, a beast.